Hello and welcome back to this course. And today in this video we are going to create our GUI calculator in JavaFX. So this is a simple calculator that will add, subtract, multiply or divide our numbers. So without wasting our time, let's start creating our calculator. So first of all, I go to my projects and open my fxml file in the scene builder. And now I just remove this label as well as this button from this application. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, I simply resize this pane, go to the layout and just increase its height to 400 like this. Okay. So now first of all, I'm going to add a label here. I just add a label here. I change here calculator and I just increase its font size. And also I change its font to impact. Okay. So after that, to display the result, I also add a label here. Just like this. And I just add null to it, otherwise I add 0 to it to show that the right now the result is 0. Also I just close it and place it here. I increase the font size and also I add bold to it like this. Okay. After that I have to add some buttons in this calculator. So what I do, I simply search here button. Before that I add hbox here, hbox here, just resize it to this. Okay. Now I add some buttons in this layout. First of all, this is the button number 1. Then I add button 2 here. It is 2. Okay. So first of all, I type here 7. It is 8. It is 9. And this is the divide. Okay. So I just select all these buttons and I simply go to the layout and I add margin of 4, 10 or 20 like this. And also I type here minimum width, which is the 55, and height, which is the 30, 60. Okay, so I add 45 here like this. And also I select these buttons, go back to the layout and I add here 15. Okay, this is enough. And after that I simply copy this hbox, paste it here, just add it here. Again I paste it here, I simply drag it here, again paste it here, and I simply drag it here like this. Just change the text. 7, it is the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, multiply and minus, this is the plus, this is equals to. Okay, so I remove this button from here and I just increase its size to 110 like this, or I increase it to 120, 130, 132, or I add here 125, this one. Okay, also I change here to 0. I just select all the buttons from here, and I go to the properties, and just I increase their size to 14, or I change to 18. Okay, so now this is the interface of our calculator. We have added the buttons and the label or calculator label on it. So I simply save it, go back to my NetBeans, and in here first of all I'll go to this controller, and in the controller I simply just remove all this from here. I simply add here at fxml, and after that I type here private label. Also after that I type here private int num1, and I also type here private string operator, and after that I also type here nothing. Okay, and now I'm going to create a method here. So I type here at fxml, and after that I type here public void numbers like this, and here I type action event e, and in it I'm going to manage my all numbers that are pressed. So I type here label dot set text to null, and after that I type here string val equals to, and now rather than adding all the buttons in this file, I'm going to write a single code here. I type here button, just typecast it, and I type here e dot get source and dot get text. Okay, also I import the button class. Okay, and now I'm going to create another method. I type here add fxml to process my operator. So I type here public operators, and here I type action event e. Now in this method, first of all public void. Okay, now first of all in this method I am going to again type this statement here. So I copy it from here and paste it here, and after that I type here the code for equals to. If I type here if value dot equals, and I type here equals to, then simply I just take the negative effect, that if the button press is not equal to basically equals to, then simply type here that if operator dot is empty, then simply return, and also I add a note here that if it's not empty, then return it here like this. Okay, and after that I type here operator equals to val, and I type here num1 equals to integer dot %, and I type here label dot get text like this. and also here I type label dot set text to this. Okay, after that I type here else, and in this else I'm simply going to type here that if operator dot is empty, then simply return, and then otherwise int num2 equals to integer dot parseInt, and here I type uh, label dot get text like this, and after that I type here int output equals to, I type here now I have to pass the values that I want to add. So before that I simply create a class here, type here class, type here test, and now in this class first of all I'm going to create a simple method here. So I type here public void it turns the integer value, so I type here int calculate, and here I type int num1 and int num2. You can also use double here as a return type, but right now I'm simply going to use the int here, and also I type here string operator, and in this method I'm simply going to type here switch statement. Switch, in here I type operator, and after that I simply type here case, which is plus, then simply what to do, simply return num1 plus num2. Okay, and I copy this case and paste it here, here, here. Minus sorry, it's multiply, multiply, divide, and before dividing it I have to check a condition here that if num2 equals to 0, then simply return 0. Okay, sorry, 0. Okay, and after that I simply type here default break. Okay, and at the end I simply return here 0. Okay, and now I simply go here and create here test t1 equals to new test, and now here I type t1 dot calculate, and in here I type num1 num2 and operator. Okay, and after that I simply type here label dot set text, and in here I type string dot value of, and I type here the output. Okay, and after that I type here operator equals to null, like this. Okay, so now I just save it, go back to my scene builder, and I just select this label and give ID to this label like this, and also I select these buttons here, which are the numbers. I select them and click on the set on action, and I choose here the numbers. Okay, this is numbers, and this one is the operators. Now I select these operators from here, and I add on action this one. Okay, I save it, and now if I go back to my NetBeans. Okay, so before running this program, I have to add one flag here and something like that. So first of all, I just initialize my number with 0 right now, and after that I also initialize my operator with null, this empty string. Okay, and also I add a private boolean and a flag variable here, which is true at the start. After that, I in this method I type here if flag, then simply label dot set text to this, and flag equals to false, like this. Okay, and also I remove this from here like this, and add one more line here. I think so I have to add here label dot set text, and in here I type here label dot get text, and also I can get it here well. Okay, and also I will move to next, and after that I also type here flag equals to true. Okay, so I think so now everything is done. I save it, and now if I run my code, you will see this calculator on the screen. First of all, I perform the addition operation, so I type here 78. Okay, so there's some problem in our 7 number. 7 is not working here, so I close it and go back to my scene builder, and here I select this 7. You can see here in 8 we have number on action, but in 7 we don't have, so I also add here numbers. I think so, yes, numbers. I save it, and now if I go back to my NetBeans and run this program, I add here 7 8 1 plus I add 10 in it equals to, you can see here 791 is the correct answer. And now if I want to perform the this subtraction, so I type here 100 minus 50 equals to 50. And now if I want to perform the multiplication, so I type here 9 multiplied by 10 equals to 90, and 1000 divided by 25 equals to this. Now one more thing here, that this calculator is working fine, but you can also use here um, a long or double here to if you want to get your answer in points, then you can use the double here. Also in the basically here you can also use the um, a long type number or double type number. That's totally dependent upon you, that which type of number you want to use. If you want to get your answer in points, then you can use the double here. So in this way we can create the calculator in our JavaFX. You can see that how easy it is to create a simple application in JavaFX. So this is a basic calculator that perform the arithmetic operations like plus, minus, multiplication and division. So I hope that you understand that how we can create a calculator in JavaFX. I just roughly repeat this program. First of all, we have a label in which we display our result, and one number variable, one operator variable, which are which contain nothing at start, and then we have a flag variable which is true at first. We also have a class with the name test, in which we have a function with the name cal, and take 3 arguments, number 1, number 2 and operator. and if operator is equal to plus, then it add number 1, number 2, and all these cases here. And after that we have to evaluate our numbers and operators. Now to evaluate our numbers on the calculator, we use the numbers method, and to evaluate our operators, we use the operator method. So in number method, first of all, I check that if flag is equal to true, then simply label.setText to null and flag is equal to false. So after that we get the event.getSource.getText button. So we get our value from the button and store in the val variable, and we just set the text on the label that label.setText, and in the argument I again type here label.getText, that the previous text plus the value that is added again. For example, first of all I type 7, then I press 8, so it makes 78 on the screen. After that we have the operator function, in which I again get the value from the calculator and check that if the value is not equal to and operator is not equal to empty, then simply return. This is not an operator. If it is equal to, then simply move here and we store that value in the operator, and we get number 1 from that. We type here number 1 is equal to integer.parseInt label.getText. We get our text from the label. We know that whenever we get our text from the label, it is always in form of string, so I convert it into the integer and store in the number 1. So we get our number 1, then I set the label to nothing, because I want to check the second value. After that I type here if operator is empty. If operator is empty, then simply return, and else it is a number, so we store that number in number 2 variable, and in the output we just call the cal method and pass number 1, number 2 and operator in it, and we get our result from that method, which we will return from there, and then we set that result on our label. So in this way we get our desired result, and after that we pass an empty string to operator, and also we will pass true in our flag. So in this way we can use the this code to create our calculator and evaluate our answers. So I hope that you understand. Anyhow, if you feel any problem by understanding any code, you can definitely ask me a question. I am always here to help you. So that's it for this video. I will see you in next video.